Hey Planet friends, welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Alicia and today's video is going to be my currently inked for the month of January. Alright, so first thing we're going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stamp my little ink bottle stamp. This is the one. I actually bought this in Japan a few years ago when you went, but I think if you search up ink bottle stamp, it should pop up. Otherwise, there's a bunch of other ones that you can choose from that I think look far more interesting than this one. But this is just what I have, so we're going to use it. I'm going to go ahead and stamp 5 all the way down, and then we'll be back. Okay, so I've gone ahead and stamped them all. I don't really mind if they're not perfectly in a line or perfectly spaced out. I just like having them there. Alright, now I'm going to bring you guys nice and close and we're going to jump straight into the inks. Okay, so the first ink that we're going to talk about today is actually an ink sample. It's Sailor Shikiori Potsu. Now I have this inked in my Kaweco Owlsport in Iguana Blue in an extra fine nib. So as you can see, I actually don't have much of this sample left, but I thought it would be fun to jump back into a lot of my quite old samples and just try and get as much use as I can out of them or declutter them if I'm not using them. I've had these samples for a few years now and I'm just trying to de-stash a lot of the stationery that I have that's not getting used because there's a lot of it and I don't have enough space to hold on to it all. Alrighty. So far, I'm actually really enjoying this combination. I think that the Kaweco Owlsport actually writes really nicely and I find it to be quite smooth. I've heard that some people have gotten bad luck with the nibs and they've been quite scratchy or they have a lot of hard starts. For me personally, that hasn't been the experience with this pen. I also love the name of this ink. I think it's really fun. Potsu. This ink I actually have been enjoying so much that I would consider purchasing a full bottle of it. I do have a little bit left in the sample, so I'm going to re-up what's in my pen with the rest of the sample and a syringe just to get the last little drops out of it, and then I will definitely add this to my list of inks that I would potentially get a full bottle of. Alright, next we're moving on to my second pen. This is my Pilot Custom 823 with a fine nib. Now I have this one inked with Pilot Iroshizuku Yama-budo. I actually recently acquired this ink and prior to getting it I didn't really understand the hype. I'd seen it a lot all over every single fountain pen group on Facebook and the Reddit and in lots of people's videos, but it just looked like a very standard ink. And then I decided I'd give it a go because I got a good deal on the bottle during the Boxing Day sales, and honestly I understand the hype now. I really do. This ink is just so delicious to write with. And if you pair it with a Pilot Custom 823, it just flows so nicely. It's like writing with a buttery smooth pen. I don't know. I feel like it inspires me to write. I'm also really enjoying the Iroshizuku inks. I did think for the longest time that they were quite boring, and I think unfortunately Pilot is really good at marketing their inks in an incredibly boring way, which is such a shame because they have so many really pretty inks and they all perform incredibly well. So I'm glad that I decided to overcome my initial, qualms I had with the ink and go ahead and give it a go. And I am very glad that I got it in a full-size bottle because this ink pen pairing is gorgeous. Okay, the next pen that I have inked is my Platinum Century 3776 in the shape of heart. This is in the chai latte colorway. This pen I currently have inked with Diamine's Ancient Copper. The reason I decided to go with Ancient Copper is because this year I really want to try and match all of my monthly, all of the monthly colors in the Hobonichi with an ink. And I was trying to do this with Diamine inks because of their affordability and the color range, and I think I've successfully done it. So the color that I picked for January is Ancient Copper. Originally I did choose Petra, which is a Diamine Cult Pens exclusive ink from their Wonders of the World collection. However, I had that inked in my Sailor Pro Gear Slim, and I had to unink it pretty quickly because I found that the ink was a little bit too light for such a fine nib, and there was a lot of shading to it, so it was really illegible in some parts, which is unfortunate because I do think that it was like the perfect match. I do think Ancient Copper's a bit too dark. However, I enjoyed the way it looked. I enjoy the way it looks in the Hobonichi Cousin with the January colors. I think it's very close tonally, it's just a little bit too dark. So I would probably recommend you go with Ancient Copper. If you do choose to use Diamine Petra, I would ink it in something juicier, or maybe I would actually do a little mix and add a splash of Ancient Copper into that, and then it would probably darken it up just enough to be the perfect shade. But anyway, that is why I chose Diamine Ancient Copper. Okay, the next pen that I have inked is a Jinhao 82. This one is in an extra fine nib, and I have it inked with Diamine's Yule Log. So if you saw my fountain pen collection video, you will know that I purchased a handful of, well, 2 of the Jinhao 82s with the intention of putting glitter inks in them. And this was one of them. So as soon as my glitter inks came and I had the Jinhao 82s, I needed to ink them up straight away. So I did go ahead and put this in one of them. I am so surprised by how well this pen takes glitter and how well it writes. It's really smooth, and I haven't had any issues with it clogging, skipping, hard starting, so I was just blown away. And I also love this Diamine ink. The shimmer in it is so pretty and it's so fun to look at. I love writing with this. I will say the Jinhao nib, even in the extra fine, is quite a bit thicker than all of my other pens that are fine nibbed, but that was to be expected. So I'm not mad about it, and I'm really enjoying the pairing. Alright, and the last ink that I have for this month, and the last pen that I have, is my other Jinhao 82. This one's in a medium nib, and it is currently inked up with Diamine Masquerade. This is the ink and pen combo that I have been taking to work. It is so fun to write just like my little notes to myself with glittery ink. I don't do any official documents with it, obviously, but I'm having the best time, and it really brightens up my day just a little bit. And I think if that's something that you can do for yourself with pen and an ink, you would be doing yourself a disservice not to do it. Alrighty. Okay, so again, this has been really smooth. I have not had any issues with it at all, and I was just so pleasantly surprised. These pens and these inks together have made me want to try more shimmery inks, because I just love a little bit of glitter. Alright, so that is actually all of the pens that I have inked for the month of January. I'm going to bring you out and show you all of them together. That's all of the inks. I'm going to wait for this to dry, and then I'm going to come back and give you a close-up. Okay, so here are all the inks. I actually think that they're very cohesive of a color story, even though I wasn't intentionally trying to make it a cohesive color story. I like the way they all look together, and I'm super excited to use them for the month, get to know my pens better, get to know these inks better, and I'm just super excited. So again, just another close-up. We've got the Sailor Potsu, Iroshizuku Yama-budo, Diamine Ancient Copper, Diamine Yule Log, and Diamine Masquerade. Also, just look at the shimmer in those. Unreal. Alrighty, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you stick around for more content from me. If you'd like to be notified when I upload new videos, make sure you hit the subscribe button and leave a comment down below letting me know your favorite of the inks that I've inked for this month, or letting me know what you have inked for this month. Alright, I'll catch you guys next time. Bye.